In an environment where raising external cash, external funding is quite difficult, the ability to manage cash flow ultimately becomes a survival skill. It separates those who stay in the business from those who, run out of business or run out of cash at the end of the day. So you'll agree with me that cash is the soul of any business. You run out of it, you run out of business. Today, I want to spend some time to talk about effective ways to extend your cash runway and give your business some ease of life. The first thing I'll talk about is cash flow forecasting. This is something that many entrepreneurs are not very used to. It always looks a bit vague. Intuitively, many people know how to think about how cash comes in and goes out. But this is an exercise that as an entrepreneur, you need to do at minimum on a weekly basis. And it doesn't have to be complex. What you need to do is pull out an Excel sheet and you have a weekly column for the next 6 months, for example. On one line, you want to have your cash inflow. In other words, what cash comes into my business on a weekly basis. You want to be able to plot that out, and don't confuse cash with income. You might make an income, for example, you may sell something today and the cash does not come in another 3 weeks. That is not cash, that is income. Yes, it might turn into cash much later, but that is not what you want to track at this point. You can have a separate place where you track your income or your revenue, but on this cash forecast, what you want to track is what cash comes in. So in this week 1, what amount of cash am I expecting? It could come in the form of payments from your customers. Like I said earlier, it could come in the form of grants. Maybe you receive grants from some parties, or it could even come in form of monies that you borrow that is actually eventually coming into the business. You want to plot that out as cash inflow. Then on a separate line, you want to have your cash outflow. And this is usually recorded against when those cash flows will take place. So you are expecting that I want to buy raw materials in week 1 and week 3, and I will be buying so amount in dollars or in naira or in Kenyan shillings of raw materials. You want to record that amount in the week you expect it to happen. I'm going to buy electricity, I'm going to pay for water, I'm going to pay for internet and data. You want to have that. In what week is that payment going to go out? I'm going to pay rent, and it's a lump sum. In your income statement, you might be treating that as amortized on a monthly basis. But in your cash flow forecasting, when is that cash going out? You want to put that in the week it is happening. You're going to be paying salaries. You pay salaries on the maybe 25th of every month or on the last day of every month. You want to include that the day salaries will be going out. Once you have your cash inflow and your cash outflow, the net of that is your cash flow. And so on a monthly basis, by the time you now accumulate it, what amount is left at the end of the last month, your cash flow, ending cash flow at the end of this month. You accumulate that and you begin to get a good idea of what your cash flow looks like. The reason why this is critical is going to become apparent as we go on, because it helps you to know what can you play around with, what can you move forward a bit, what can you move backwards, what can you create as an intervention or a bridge to be able to help you manage your cash flow. But this first step is extremely critical to help you gain some form of control over your cash.